Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Today is November 20th, 2019. Yes, this is not the normal studio. It's not Wednesday. I'm not wearing a suit. I left my camera on for a couple of days, forgot to charge the batteries. So I came over here, which I have a plug for it so I can do the news. First of all, the news, I want to mention that the channel turned 4 last week on Thursday. I made a live stream, which is an hour and 15 minutes. If you don't want to watch it, I just want to say thank you to everyone that's watches this channel, everyone that supports me through Patreon and so on. It's enabled me to grow this channel into a place where I can hire someone to help me edit, a place where I can rent the studio to do more videos and show more stuff, and get to know a lot of people around the world, which is pretty awesome. Also, I want to thank Camera Store that is sponsoring the news, but also all the support they've given me through basically the beginning of this channel till today. That means a lot, and if you want to buy something or anything like that, you should totally check them out. I'm actually working on a video because I bought something out of Camera Store and pretty much screwed up, so there'll be a video on that very soon. I didn't do it on purpose. It was a mistake. I'll explain all of it in that video. So those new Patreons, thank you for signing up after the live stream. For those that are still Patreon before the live stream, thank you for you too. It's very appreciated. I've started sending some of the prints and all that stuff for Patreons, which has been backlogged forever. So hopefully you'll receive something very soon. So in the news, why is this news on Wednesday? Well, Wednesday was a special day. Tetenal, or New Tetenal, was going to release something. And it's nothing huge, but it was something big enough to make me change the news. And they've released a single, well, they called Magic Box. They made Magic Box C41, RA4, and E6. What is Magic Box? It's a little box which will let you step into E6, C41, RA4. It's not meant for heavy users like me or others that develop with the 1 liter kit or 2.5 liter kits or other kits, but it's meant for those people who are concerned about developing film and want to do color, but they've always been scared of buying big quantities and it's expensive and maybe they don't shoot that much. They shoot a color roll every now and then. This is what it's for. This product is for them, basically. So it's small kits, 1 roll for E6, 1 roll for C41, and 23 sheets of 8x10 paper for the RA4. Marwan from Photo Classic, which is the one that's giving me all the information, told me he just did 3 rolls with his 1 roll kit. So you can do 3 rolls. It mixes to 250 milliliters. So if you're using rotation like the Jobo and stuff, you can use that for a couple of rolls, more than 1. So that's pretty good news. And this is focused for those new people. Like I said, the lab box user or backer who is like, oh, you know, I bought the lab box, but I don't want to buy a 1 liter kit or 5 liter kit or 2.5 liter kit. They can buy this, buy a roll of color film, shoot it, develop it, see if it's for them, and then move on to bigger amounts. So it's not something for everyone. So that's the big news, or the news this week. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm not going to be one of those users because I'm not the target. I hopefully will be getting a couple kits to show you guys how to use them because I think it's very interesting, and I think there should be videos for those beginners or you know, newbies in C41, E6, RA4. So hopefully that will be working out with New Tetenal. I'll leave all the story below and in the screen so you can check it out, but that's basically all there is. Tetenal did do a restructuring to 40 people out of the 200 they had. They're working hard to make more, but they're slowly shifting to a new location. There's a lot of things happening there. It's even worth a whole video about Tetenal, so maybe I'll do that. Then we have the other big news last week were Acros II is coming November 22nd. So Acros has released their Japanese newsletter, which I'll leave the link below. It's all in Japanese. Basically comes to say that Acros is coming back in version 2. During November 22nd in Asia, and I think it's Japan only for now. And it's only going to be rolls of 35 and 120, no 4x5, no 8x10, and no exterior sales yet. Price is going to be around €9 a roll, $10 a roll, $9 a roll, so 9 to 10, which is not cheap. But we all know that Acros and Fuji film is usually very good and is not going to be cheap. Velvia and Provia and stuff like that have been climbing up in price. But I think it's pretty cool. I think they say most of their biggest properties of the film are still there. So if you want some, I'm sure a lot of vendors online will offer them abroad. So you can order them and have them shipped to wherever location. I'm in Spain, so I don't know if I'll get them till basically they release them in Europe. I'm not in that much of a hurry to make a review of the new one and the old one, like probably a lot of people are waiting. If you want the Acros, just go ahead and buy it. Don't wait to see if it's good or bad. It's not going to be bad for sure. Then we have news from Adox. They came out with a product called Thio Clear, and Thio Clear is an ecological chemical, so it does kind of sounds like opposite, but it's not harmful for the environment, and it helps you cut down your washing for your paper, or the wash you do for paper, black and white paper, to 50%. So if any of you know about darkroom printing, when you do fiber-based paper, you usually have to wash around an hour. So using this product, which is eco-friendly, you can wash in half an hour. I've asked them to maybe send me a bottle and do the tests of how long it will wash, for an hour, how clean will it be, and for half an hour, how clean it will be. I can't wait to show you guys, but it's pretty cool news. There's more stuff coming from Adox, but still can't really share. Then we have news from Mint. Mint, who is the, instant camera manufacturer of today, because there is Polaroid Originals and there is Instax, but the other company is Mint and Lomography. But Mint is doing SX70 upgrades and fixtures, and they make a little bar that makes it into having more functions, manual functions and stuff. They came out with a self-timer. So this self-timer works, as far as I know, only for the SX70 from Polaroid, the real old Polaroid. And basically you press it, you walk in front of your camera, boom, you're in the shot. So self-timer, that's all it does. It's 54 euros, I think, or $45. I don't know whichever one, but it's not that expensive. And it actually brings that, quality to cameras that don't have a self-timer. The old school one that you used to crank, it was like mechanical, is cool, but this one's pretty nice. And me as a father photographer, I'm never in the shot, so it's pretty cool to have that. You just put a tripod, press it, go, you're in the shot. So cool news from Mint. Then another of the updates or news that hopefully I'll be the first one to let you know is Negative Supply is coming up with the Pro Riser. And you might be wondering, Negative Supply, who are they? What is that? Negative Supply is making products to digitize your film nowadays with your digital camera, and they're making products for that. First thing they came out with was the 35 holder, which held your 35 millimeter film. And then they had the Pro Mount, so it was like a little table that would let you diffuse the light and have your thing on top and put like a anti-static brush under. And now they're making the next part, which is basically your camera holder, like a tripod. So it's a reproduction stand. It has micro adjustments, and in the pictures that you're watching a render, but it is threaded, so that's very important. So you can slowly adjust the height of your digital camera to crop into your film to see 1:1, or maybe you want to do small images and then stitch it together. But it's the Pro Mount. It has these legs. It's you can break it down and pack it to travel or to put it away. For those of us that have a studio, it's not needed, but for a lot of people that shoot film, they need to break things down every time, put it under their bed or in a cupboard so their family doesn't get annoyed by, oh, you got your scanner set up there, just get it out of here. So that's pretty awesome. Negative Supply is making all these products, which I think are very cool and interesting. Price point is $199, but it wasn't set on stone yet. They told me they were trying to think that it would be 100% that price. So considering that their holder for 35 is around $300, if I'm not wrong right now, don't quote me on that. It's not that bad for a stand, and it has micrometric, things. The other options are made by Kaiser in Germany, and the good one from Kaiser is around 300 euros or more probably in the US. And the other Amazon cheap options that I've tried are terrible. So I'm very excited to try it out and see how good it can be, because it's very nice to have your setup be quick. That way, that's the whole point of scanning like this, is quickness. Then we have another update not so happy about Reflex. So Reflex, the Kickstarter campaign that was going to come out with a new Reflex camera, has hit a major bump in their production. They're not really producing yet. They're more into investigating and trying to get the supply and everything. Well, management supposedly has had major problems. I think someone walked away. Some teams are not working with others. The update is pretty discouraging, but they're still working. So it's not they didn't give up. They are just having pretty big hit, and they're going to continue, but it's going to take them some more time. It's a miracle to me that they're still running, because they raised some money on Kickstarter, but it's not a lot. And it's been a year, more than a year. So we'll see what happens. But if you want to hear about Reflex and you were excited to see it in the market, I wasn't a backer, but I would love to see it in the market and then purchase it, because that way I can show that there is interest for new cameras, because it's very important to have new cameras nowadays. Another little update is Malefic wares or cameras has actually upgraded that now you can choose to have carbon fiber filament. So if you don't know what Malefic makes, they make 3D printed cameras. They're usually 4x5, 6x17, 12, 6x9, and something else probably that I'm missing. And they're kind of handheldable, so they have tripod mounts, and they're really well made. I have one upstairs, which I'm going to be reviewing very soon. But now they offer carbon filament. I wonder if carbon is stronger and lighter in terms of like falling, because these cameras are very lightweight. Maybe the wind will blow it or whatever, but I'm very excited to see that upgrade. You can choose it. It's a little bit more expensive, but you can choose it. Then we have from another camera maker, Svedovsky, a cheaper alternative to their cameras. So they came out with the 8x10E, and I guess E is for economic, 5x7E, another model's E, which has maybe less movements or cheaper materials, but that's kind of like a cool thing, because if you've ever used a large format camera like this 8x10, this has like everything you need except for the super weight, which you don't need the super weight all the time. It's kind of heavy, but sometimes you don't need all those movements. So if you're into a budget and you want to shoot 8x10, 5x7, or whatever other size that Svedovsky offers, now they're offering the E line. So that's pretty cool. Then from another Kickstarter campaign that's still struggling and fighting is Ferrania update. So Ferrania has been working all this time in the silence, like basically quietly, because they didn't want to keep on saying they were coming out with something. But last week we actually saw a brick of their P30 film in Italy, and I mean a brick like 100 roll box. So they're slowly working towards making film again and offering it to everyone. But there's been some problems, especially with the converting or the finishing of the film. So there's probably it's only in Italy for now, so there's no real update yet, but I'm very sure there'll be an update very soon. I talked with some people at Ferrania. They're telling me that it's all going well, just slowly. So if you were one of those backers, you're probably desperate by now, but you were investing on keeping a brand or making a brand come back. So I'm sorry if you thought you would be getting film fast. That was the idea, but they've had a lot of bumps down the road. Then from another Kickstarter campaign, we have Chroma Camera that's been teasing of a traveled wide-ish camera. And I mean travel wide-ish because that's the one I know. Kind of like a point and shoot 4x5 handheld camera. So he's, I think, using a magnetic system. So I think the back is the one they have in his Chroma cameras and the cone and all this. So this is just a tease, but I thought it was pretty cool. And I like the concept because I'm a very, happy user of handheld 4x5s. I have a Camera Dactyl OG over there, and I'll be reviewing that very soon. Then we have news from Henning. Well, Mr. Henning has given me an update about Kodak. So Kodak, if you haven't noticed, has been lacking film all around the spectrum, at least in Europe. And a lot of people were saying, oh, maybe Kodak's going through troubles. What's happening with Kodak and blah, blah, blah. Here in Europe, it's been a pretty big issue. So it happens to be that Kodak has been way over, basically there's way more demand than they expected or they had. So the sales are up. The converting and finishing line is running 3 shifts a day, so 8-hour shifts. So they're non-stop, especially for the cheaper films like Color Plus. I think there's over 2 million rolls in backstock, backlogged. So people have ordered, placed their distributors have placed their orders, and Kodak is building for those orders. So there's a humongous demand in that. And then raw material has been proven to be harder to get in bigger quantities right now. And they probably won't fix this till, I think I read correctly, summer 2020. So they're working towards it, but it's still going to be slow. So you've noticed that there's less Kodak Color Plus, Kodak Gold, and those films in the market. It is because they're over, their heads with orders and stuff. So that's pretty cool. This whole thing is at Photrio. There's a whole post about the news and people commenting. I highly suggest you read it. It's really good news. Hopefully Kodak, as I said, I think last week or the week before, will be coming with a new converging line, or investing slowly. And we have to do this all with a lot of caution. I say we because I consider the industry to be a bit of all of us, because you don't want to overbuild and then once again kaboom, But that's basically it. And then there's a video, which I like mentioning, a video about Ethan Moses, the camera dactyl guy, who made a video online about RA4 positive prints. And he basically shot with his large format camera and then developed it in black and white and then in color RA4. And it's pretty cool to do a direct positive on RA4 paper. The video has some details that supposedly are missing or he learned after. So make sure to read the comments, but it's super cool video. It's like 3 minutes long, so not very long. And I can't wait to use it on something like an 8x10 or 11x14 as soon as I learn the know-how. So yeah, guys, that's the news for this week. Once again, sorry for this setup. It was all my bad. I'll be getting a second battery for my camera so I don't run out. And as always, you can send an email to the email below. Thanks, Negative Supply, for giving me the news before it was released. And Tetenal 2, I've known about it for a couple of weeks. I really enjoy knowing things before and sharing it with you guys in the news. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. See you next week.